Welcome back to The Watch. And today we have... Well, what are we talking about today, guys? A trailer, a teaser.
A sneak peek?
Something interesting.
Yes, but despite that, lots of opinions.
Yes.
At least from me.
Yes. Now, me and Nathan have spoken about this for about 3 minutes off camera. And then we said, hey, Shad, you want to come and join us on this video? So he's here.
I am.
So we both have no idea what his thoughts on this to be are. What are we talking about, Shad?
So there's a trailer that the Dailywire has released for a film project that they are obviously already producing for a Snow White adaptation. That's what I have noticed.
Yes, that's what I've seen too. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a parody. And we had to... We
Fact
did
check.
Yeah, we had to
Make
fact
sure,
yeah, make sure it was real. It turns out it's real.
Yeah, I thought it would be. It's funny that you thought it would be a joke.
But genuinely...
What made you think it was a joke, Tyranth?
Well, first off, there's such a complicated feelings with this, but it's starring Brett Cooper. Now, I only heard about her a year ago, which makes sense because I saw that the channel that she's a part of started a year ago. I don't know anything other than that.
I've watched some interviews that she's done. She's gone on Tim Pool and the occasional video, and oddly enough, we've appeared in one of her videos. Well, not you. It was me and Nathan and Oz.
So it was an older clip, yeah.
Well, they used a clip, and so I don't think she knows who we are, but the editor clearly does. And
that's fine. I don't know who it is. But so I went and that's all I knew, right? And it feels odd because it's a political commentator, right?
Yeah. Also, before we dive into that side,
you
of
just
things,
asked him.
I will. But first, I want to preface this by saying I think it's absolutely awesome that the Daily Wire is trying to make culture. Okay.
Yes.
There are some issues. So when I say issues, right? Okay, is we do need that. We need culture because Hollywood has gone to crap. We all know this. Okay, and so it's time for independent creators to rise up. Now, I hope they do great.
Yeah.
And we'll judge it on its merits. Okay. What I have seen, unfortunately, and people might accuse me of falling into this, is that there are cultural endeavors that certain creators are pursuing who are, anti-woke, they're kind of politically minded, and their cultural endeavors aren't the best.
Right.
Because they're basically commentators first.
Yeah.
They are, when I say commentators first, but cultural creators, what type of creators? Like when you pop culture creators or whatever, second. Now I'm doing my part. I'm trying to make a culture thing. Oddly enough, though, this is the secondary. Like I wanted to be an author first and foremost. And though the thing is, though, I heard Brett Cooper, that was her path. She was trying to get into acting.
Right.
Okay. And so
there are plenty of things from the Daily Wire that I genuinely applaud them for. Like when they do their documentary series, that stuff is great. That's top tier stuff.
Yes.
And then they even started venturing out into the entertainment stuff with like a horror film or something like that.
They did a horror. There was the Planes one with Gina Carano.
Yeah.
And I heard that was okay. I didn't hear it was phenomenal, but it seems like they. I hope. I don't know. Is this going to be different than because? Is it a different type? It is dramatic though.
Yeah, it's a very different because this one's for kids. This is like a kids entertainment thing. They said.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, we saw
the production company that's doing it. They've already started doing a cartoon series, and this is their first feature film that they want to do.
So I think this is going to be trying to a children thing. That's what's so different about this compared to the other media, at least from what I've seen. Now, where I stumble on this is, would you say that Brett Cooper is a political commentator, first and foremost?
So...
Because we're not political commentators, first and foremost. I feel like this is an important distinction.
It is.
The main channel stuff is our main channel stuff.
Yeah.
That's why it's called main channel.
We're entertainment-based creators.
So when we delved into Adventure Quest, it fits like a glove because that's just a branch off our normal content.
Yeah.
It feels different when a political commentator jumps into it.
Maybe. I would have to see. All we've seen is an expression.
Yeah.
I have thoughts on the expression.
Right. Okay. Of course you do, Shad.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
I am. I'm a discerning critic. Sorry. But I apply the same critical eye to our own stuff as well. In fact, I was criticizing expressions in one of the recent
something that's unreleased that is going to take a lot of
test footage, I guess you could call it.
Test footage, that's fair.
So, we'll have to wait and see. The thing is, though, I think that is her background was acting. I think she was cast by the Daily Wire, and then, she's been doing her, is it a comment section?
Yeah, that's what I think. She's a host of that shit. That's not her thing.
Oh, yeah, Daily Wire owns it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
And
if I'm wrong, if we're wrong, feel free. I know.
And look, she seems like a very pleasant person. Okay. She obviously is able to talk naturally on camera, but there's a difference between talking and dramatic acting. And so that's where we'll have to see. I hope it's good. This is the thing, right? To get some inroads into claiming back the culture, you can't just make content. You need to make the best content.
Yeah.
It's going to be compared one for one.
Yeah.
Hollywood has been dog crap with writing. It actually isn't that hard to beat Hollywood's writing chops because it's just been absolute crap. But the thing what Hollywood can do, they still have good actors and they still have good effects and stuff. And what's funny, it doesn't matter how good they get. If the story is crap, it bombs. Yeah. Okay. Can you enjoy a film that has really good writing, but if the acting feels subpar amateurish?
I don't think in this day and age.
You don't think?
I think in the 80s you could, because for example, I watched Temple of Doom recently, and some of the acting in that is subpar, but if that came out now, I think most people would be like, that's a bad movie. You shouldn't be able to watch that.
I feel
it also depends on the context.
I was about to say, context is really important.
Doctor Who had bad acting and really bad VFX for a long time because the story was so good and the characters were so well established.
The writing carried it.
It carried it through.
So that is a good case right then of writing support.
But I think it's the difference between like weird sci-fi aliens and like a kind of historical setting of princes and princesses.
So I don't want to throw too many stones in glass houses. Something you don't know about, Shad, that me and Nathan have done a short film. It's not finished yet. It's not finished or anything like that, and it's not going to be for a while. We're too busy to. I
the camera work. Here's all the.
I'm too busy. There's some acting in that is not top tier, but also with a budget of zero. Yeah, that's the context of that. The Daily Wire, while it's no Disney, they're like I would say the biggest in terms of conservative creating
producing
entertainment
entertainment stuff.
So people would assume that with that level, like when you look at the cinematography in that teaser, it's nothing complex, sure, but it's still very
polished.
Yes, very polished.
It felt distinctly indie and low budget. That was my impression. I've just got to say, all right, there's a couple of things, right? I think the camera work was fine, but as soon as you see someone overly using external scenes and stuff, it's like, well, you're only doing that because you don't have the budget to do something anything fancier. And like if for a Snow White something, for an establishing shot, a key establishing shot for Snow White is like the castle, perhaps, or like something that is more related than just a forest. And so when I see only forest shots, even if they're done well, it gives me a distinct low budget indie kind of vibe. And that's probably what this is, honestly. And it's up to them to try and punch above their weight to work through the limitations to have something that...
I don't know, man. Low budget indie, it's Daily Wire. They got some money, yeah?
They do. Okay, so then we come to the primary kind of element of the trailer, which is the expression shot of Brett Cooper.
Way too long.
I don't think it was the best shot. Like if I was directing that, I wouldn't be happy with it.
Nathan has a good point of this first one.
Well, my initial thought is
itself. Yeah.
Well, my thought in what this is, I don't actually think it's the movie itself. I think they would they're like, all right, we need some promo material. Let's go out in the forest and do a promo thing. And this is all their filmed so far.
So it's a dedicated promo.
So I have a feeling that this is why I'm like, I can judge this and break it down, but like you said, it's not until we actually see the final product we actually know what's going to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of this feels very not rushed, but this isn't the final product. And so the way that she moves and turns, even like stuff, my biggest criticism is her hand. And I know it's a nitpick, But the way that she grabs that apple and puts it in the basket, there's so much hand movement and just little bits of direction where I'm like, if this was actually the thing that we're going to show in the end, you'd be a lot more critical on some
I'm also
things.
not a fan of the opening shot being feet.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
Her
of
naked feet walking through the forest.
All right, well, we're commenting on it, so let's just bring it up and do kind of our live response and reaction, and we might notice things to comment on.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, establishing shot, mountains. I mean,
This is the new production company that they started.
Okay.
I'm guessing Kids Entertainment. I think that was the announcement,
yeah.
right?
And for something, for I guess, I don't know, maybe a baseline I'm holding it to for me to be more impressed by that this is better than indie, needs to be better than what we could do. And so far, that's nothing special about the logo.
But to be fair here, this entire teaser we could do.
Yes, that's the thing.
To be fair,
yes, that's my point. Okay.
That's true. This is true.
And look, they got the lighting all right. It has the cinematic feel.
That's just a drone shot.
Yeah, drone shot.
This is where Nathan takes issue.
Yeah. This right here. Like if
You gotta play it. You gotta play it.
play it through, watch it. Just watch how her fingers move.
Finger acting.
It was all very like.
This is very nitpicky, and I don't want this video to be like a negative video. This isn't a negative video. It's just
we want the Daily Wire to make the best stuff possible. And I genuinely mean that. I want them to make culture. I want them.
If we had the budget to do it, we would do it.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
But the thing is, though, for them to win, they need to make the best stuff. And so we need to be equally as critical of the stuff that's coming from quote unquote our side, right? As anything else. Yeah. And though the finger movements aren't an issue for me.
They're not an issue, but it's like when I'm looking close at this, I'm like, okay, what are the things that are pulling me out of this experience? And it's stuff like that where like in Hollywood they'd say, hey, pick it up, put it down. Just little things like that. And when she turns around as well, we'll break that down.
You mentioned the test footage we did before, and you were complaining about our facial expressions.
Yes.
We shot them one take. It was basically we were on the fly, and we're like, all right, quick, get there.
Yeah.
No. So that was
yeah. And look, this is a perfect example that I am as critical of our own stuff. And so I was looking at some of the test footage that these guys are putting together, and I just had to point it out. And it was in a constructive way because I wanted to figure out how can we do better. Because there
and
were
it was
just
only
some,
little stuff as well.
But
like,
there was
it's
just some
easily
rest expressions
Yeah.
that didn't look authentic.
Yeah.
And you can tell it kind of stands out.
The difference between that is that's me, Nathan, and Nate out there trying to get things done as quick as possible because we've got other things to do. Whereas this is like a full production.
I want to go close into her expression. And look, this is over. We only have anything over nitpicking or only got this thing. And maybe she'll blow us away with her acting chops. She could be very experienced.
Sure, I hope. Yeah. I hope so.
And close up of a squirrel.
Yeah.
It would be hard to get close up, get the squirrel to do what you want. I mean, that would be a bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I reckon it's got stock footage.
You reckon it's stock?
Or you just went into a
You're
forest.
right. This could be stock footage. There's some good quality stock footage out there.
This is where I take a nitpick.
The dress.
Yes. Our costumes are better.
Okay, so if this is Snow White, it's meant to be medieval. It looks too modern.
Yeah. I mean, we'll look at these scenes here.
Yeah. And even. Yeah, the cut of the dress, the styling, the material looks too silky for medieval and stuff like that. And if you want to be immersed in a fantasy world, right?
Also, it's quite bare as well. Out in the middle of the forest, something like that. You want a cloak, something. Yeah. Little tiny things.
Okay, so I think she's wearing way too much makeup.
I agree.
And this is to get the Snow White, the red lips and the white pale skin. Do you reckon they were aiming for that?
Yes, but I feel like the makeup, like her cheeks are too rosy and things like that.
This is not a negative video.
Okay, here's the one point I'm going to make because I know some people are going to be like, you guys shouldn't criticize Daily Wire, like they're on our side. The thing that I'm most concerned about them doing stuff like this, if they become the same as Disney and everyone else, is if they don't take on criticism. If we can't criticize them and them go, that's a fair point, might change it, then they're the exact same as Disney being like, oh, we're going to make a feminist movie about whatever.
Well, all right, so why I would say it's important to be able to take this sort of criticism is because you're going to be facing an uphill battle. You're trying to get mass audiences. And a lot of the media is petty. So they will take criticism like this. They'll be like, oh, this looks cheap. This is So if you want to take on someone like Disney, you got to be better.
I mean, they have so much potential because, I mean, they're casting Brett Cooper. And yeah, she's a looker. She could fit the role. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we've got to talk about that. After this, we'll talk about that.
After that. Okay. Well, there is a perception of casting Brett Cooper because it's like, are you just getting your podcast hosts into film where they and the perception is that they're not actors.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So she's not doing much, and you couldn't ask for more. I think.
I wouldn't say this is a good angle though.
I
It's
think
a very
I think
unflattering
what's
angle.
letting it down is actually the makeup and angle, and I think the hairstyle really is not flattering for her either.
No.
And I think for me it's jarring. It's because she's looking at the title that's just appeared on the screen. She's not looking at anything in the distance. It feels very staged.
Also, the time this shot takes. If we play this shot in its entirety, it's long.
Yeah. I think she's doing a fine job just trying to not break. I just have a more genuine, natural kind of
Yeah, but I'm
smiling
saying
thing.
this isn't her fault, obviously. This is their fault for making the title for so long.
Yeah,
you need to be quicker on this.
And yeah, look, it's an announcement teaser, so you can't judge on what it's going to be based on this.
No, we can't judge it yet.
But if I was a non, like anyone consumer, this wouldn't, as a normie, this wouldn't excite me.
No.
It's just like this would really give me the impression of it's a low budget indie Snow White film.
Should we talk about Brett Cooper as Snow White?
Yeah,
because this is the thing. Is like I haven't watched her show or her channel or anything like that. But from what I understand, it's very akin to the cultural stuff.
Yeah, commentary on what's going on.
Which feels very weird to see that in a children's movie, like the same host. I'm saying, not for you. I'm talking for normal people.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy some acting now and then.
Yeah.
Would it be weird for me to appear? Like, what would your impressions be if I appeared in
It would be weird
okay.
for us. Us.
I put it this way when I first saw this. It feels, having learnt now that she actually did do some acting in the past, I think she kind of wants to get into that more. So I can see her being like, I want to be Snow White because that's my dream, kind of to do stuff. But where she's coming from right now in her career, it's like seeing Shad, okay, they do a Superman movie and it's trash. And you go, that's it, I've had enough. You shave the beard, you dress up as Superman because you're going to do it. And so it feels weird. It's like if Bob Iger was the next Iron Man. That's the feeling that I'm getting. It's very like, if she was like a producer on this, I feel like it would make more sense.
I think that's the impression because we tend to typecast people in our mind based on our familiarity of what they've done in the past.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she can absolutely easily break through that by giving a stellar performance.
Yes.
That's all she needs.
It's just
to
the initial
yeah,
shock.
it's the
for me.
initial,
It's like, whoa,
it feels out of place.
you wrote my
remember-
TikToks to talk about politics, not be Snow White.
The context surrounding the whole conversation is Disney's bad. Disney's making Snow White that's bad. So we're going to make our own Disney that's good. We're also conservative.
With a
We're
good
also going
classic
to
Snow White.
and we're going to get one of our hosts to do it. Like
And
that.
she's like one of the people who have been talking about that news most. Like she's going through those.
There's a lot of steps in there.
Yeah.
And your brain kind of goes, I don't know about that. That's all it is.
Yeah.
At least with this so far.
So in terms of seeing Brett Cooper do some acting, there is one thing that she's done. All she needed to do was emote, and it's not a very, I guess, dramatically demanding role, but so this is the thing. We don't have volume on, so if you just focus on her, all she has to do, but still, she's owning what she's supposed to do for the purpose of this. What are your thoughts?
I feel like it's also a different acting for me when it's like doing a fantasy fairy tale versus something that's set more in the modern day.
Well, because this is the thing, right? The attitude and posture and expression she's putting on in this is completely different to what she's like in podcasts. And so there's not much to go off, but she's keeping the stoic kind of thing, and she's doing a better job than Michael. I mean,
Yep.
like, isn't that interesting? Where there's a clear, distinct difference, even in just holding a static expression to make it seem more natural than not. And Michael is just he's leaning into it because I think he knows he's bad at it. And Brett, she can, know.
And I actually think the way that she's dressed right there, if you just gave her a blue dress, that's more of a Snow White than what she was in the trailer.
Oh, in terms of
her look.
Yeah.
Like the makeup's a lot less toned down.
Her hair looks so much better like that.
She looks like Snow White in this.
Like
the other one looks very cosplay.
Like it was not flattering to have it all pulled back in a weird braid like it was in the trailer.
It was also the pose. The pose was not flattering.
But that's she's looking all resting cow face. But if she was smiling, that's you're much better Snow White kind of.
Do you remember style. The context of this is making. Like, it's pointing fun at chocolate. Like, it's very on brand, and you go, oh, yep, this seems completely natural to what this company would do. It's fun, Something we would do about this sort of stuff, poking fun at it.
But
like, ASMR video. Like, we do stuff like that. So it feels on brand. It's just when you see it in Snow White, it feels off brand.
Well, in terms of really diving into the whole acting kind of potential and stuff, you've watched, like, bad acting film. Like, you could go to Amazon. Amazon has all just low budget bad films, and sometimes I just go cycle through them. I don't know, because it's
fun.
Yeah, just to see some really badly made stuff. And there are a lot of actors in these films that they can't even hold a natural expression. They overdo it, and it feels unnatural and everything like that. And these are paid actors who are trying their very best to be actors, and Brett's actually doing a better job than what I've seen so I think that shows potential there. So we'll have to wait and see.
I hope it turns out good. I hope that we're wrong about everything. We're being very nitpicky. I don't want this to be a negative video.
I think we all want it to succeed. We're seeing this and we're like, the opportunity here is so great. We want it to actually succeed in doing this. We want you to beat Disney. That's what we want, I think. We want you to be better than...
I think it'll be interesting when we see who the cast is.
Michael Moe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Ben Shapiro.
It's like and see, that's what I think it would switch again. Like, that's
no, but that is a very valid point. What would you do if Ben Shapiro was like, I don't know, the Guardsman or something?
Wait, no. They need to cast Ben Shapiro as Snow White's brother because they look so alike.
They do.
That's like,
that makes sense.
That makes sense. The jealous brother of some type of the Queen.
Sure, but then what if you have all these people, all these hosts as people in the film?
I think she's kind of tall as well. She's taller than Jeremy here. I think that means she's taller than Ben Shapiro as well.
I don't know about that, but that's a downward shot.
It is a downward
shot.
shot.
Look taller. She's also wearing heels.
But thing is, she's got a higher head height and she's walking behind him, and so
right. But there are times where
uneven ground.
Yeah, uneven ground. I was about to say, there's times.
She is wearing high heels. Yeah, you need good actors. That's key. That's key.
Yeah, and I think we don't know what anything else is as well. We don't know what the VFX is going to actually look like. There's going to be dwarves or what else is like. There's so much more to this we haven't seen yet. All that's been established is like shots of a forest and her turning around.
I'm trying to wonder because they'll need a castle, so that I wonder if they'd use Neuschwanstein or Pierre d'Arfon's like actual real castles. So they filmed, the Merlin TV series.
Yeah.
Camelot was Pierre d'Arfon's. And Neuschwanstein. It's in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Disney Castle's based off of it. I mean, it's Fairy Tale Castle.
I wonder who'll play the prince. Yeah. Which host will play the prince?
Do you want to?
Yeah. I'll audition. Yeah.
Make it happen.
Like the dwarves. They'll get real dwarves.
Yeah.
All the dwarves that missed out on the Disney one. So, I mean, you can tell why they're picking Snow White because it's to stick it to Disney's bullcrap one. It's not even out yet, is it?
No, it's not.
So when are they trying to get the release on this?
I don't know.
They've just announced it, so I don't know when it's coming.
Literally today. It was today, right?
It was a few hours ago.
Okay, there you go. Man, what time is it in the US? Middle of the night, right?
All right, we'll wait and see. But Daily Wire, we wish you all the best. We hope it succeeds. don't make something bad.
Please. If it's not good by like the test screening, just don't release it. Like, I beg you.
We also understand the irony of us sitting here in our stuff talking about costumes.
Yeah.
But hang on.
We understand all the layers
But
of
have
irony.
a look at some of our costumes sometimes. Like,
Yeah. Oh, this is just our. This is our.
This is our purposefully ironic, like bad costume.
This is our chill
Go
costume.
check
Check
out-
bad costumes, everyone.
Go check out Epic Adventure Quest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we'll have more coming eventually. We wish you well, Dailywire, and we hope that you produce something that's really good.
And
Genuinely.
everyone who's watched this, let us know what you think in the comments of below, of course. What do you think of the teaser? Do you think it looked good, bad? And yeah, let us know. It'll be good to hear your thoughts.
Until next time, stay on watch.